be familiar with the sight of these picturesque tall marshland reeds with feathery heads dancing in the wind along waterfronts, highways, and hydro corridors. These plants are called Phragmites, and the name Phragmites is derived from the Greek term phragma, which means fence, hedge, or screen. There are two types of Phragmites in Canada. One is native, and the other is an invasive species. An invasive species is an introduced organism that becomes overpopulated and harms its new environment. You can identify invasive Phragmites by their dense seed heads, their height of about 6 meters, and their tendency to grow in very dense congregations. It was likely introduced to North America in the 1800s, and in Canada it now occurs in every province and territory with the exception of the Yukon and Nunavut. In 2005, it was recognized as Canada's worst invasive species by Agri-Food Canada. Here are some of its negative effects. Since it's such a tall plant, it wins the competition for sunlight, space, and nutrients over its native neighbors, such as sedges, cattails, and bulrushes. It also tends to grow in such dense stands that it reduces the plant diversity, especially in areas such as wetlands. It has an extensive root system and is very salt tolerant, enabling it to live in areas with very low water, such as roadside ditches. It's able to release toxins from its roots into the soil that can hinder and even kill surrounding plants. Stands of invasive Phragmites are so dense that they actually provide a poor habitat and poor food supply for small mammals, birds, and reptiles. Birds such as the sora, Virginia rail, and even the red-winged blackbird are birds that are threatened by this plant. It can alter the hydrology of the area by lowering water levels. Dead standing stalks that are left behind during the fall are very dry and combustible, leading to an increased risk of fire. These plants can also impede farming, block drainage ditches, they can damage asphalt through their root growth, they can obscure views for landowners, and they can cause safety issues near roadways by blocking sight lines. So what can you do to help stop the spread of Phragmites? Well, you can try and use local native plants in your garden, remove any invasive species, and try to replace them with native species. Stay on designated trails. Leaving trails and wandering into areas where there is invasive Phragmites can help spread the seed. And if you are in an area with invasive Phragmites, make sure that you brush your clothes off to remove any seeds to prevent them from spreading. So remember, if we all pitch in and do small things for the environment, together we can make a big difference.